T.O.C, and we have a big issue happening in the world of news. Generations are divided by this. Eminem is back in the news again because a whole generation called Generation Z, Gen Z, but I'm in England, so it's Generation Z actually. They said that Eminem is controversial and he needs to be cancelled. Okay, I'm a millennial. I mean, I've got grey hairs now, so I'm really looking old. This is genetic. This isn't because I'm bloody old. I've been having grey since I was younger, so let's get out of the way. That's done. But I was one of those who grew up listening to Eminem. I haven't listened to him in years. One of my first albums was an Eminem album. And yes, he said some naughty words. He was a very naughty boy. He's a very naughty boy. So, for those of you who don't know, Generation Z is the generation who are born mid to late 90s to now, whatever. They've suddenly started listening to a bit of Eminem, and they don't like it. So instead of just like anybody else listening to something else, a lot of them have said, you know what, let's cancel this, let's get rid of him. We don't want to listen to any more Eminem stuff ever. And it's obviously pissed off a lot of people from my generation, millennials. Hello. The thing is, you know, I get it. You know, Generation Z, you're standing up for yourselves, you're being vocal, you're saying, no, we're not having this. This is terrible. But the thing is, you know, us who grew up listening to Eminem, it's not like we didn't know what lyrics he was saying. It's not like you've now pointed it out and we're like, what? Really? No! I thought he sang about unicorns and pixie dust. You know, it's not like we didn't know. We kind of clocked onto it. And guess what? Because he was controversial, because he said shit that was like you didn't want your mum and dad to listen to, that actually made us want to listen to him more in a weird sort of way. And yes, he did, you know, say, you know, some lyrics, he did go a little bit far. He did. But, you know, you put it in the context of the song as well. So obviously, this has caused a huge uproar. So you got loads of people now just like even doing parodies on stuff, and it's obviously come from TikTok. And TikTok, strangely enough, Generation Z. I'm calling you Generation Z because I'm not going to say Gen Z because I'm in England, so it's Generation Z. It's Z, okay? So a lot of you don't realise that you use apps like TikTok and social media platforms were pioneered by people of my generation who started things. Because there was once a time, there was called, before Facebook, it was called High Five, and there was MySpace. So if it wasn't for the pioneering social media that my generation not only invented, but also engulfed and promoted, you wouldn't even have a platform to moan about Eminem. And the thing is, if I'm going to be honest, Generation Z, I'm going to be honest about this, Eminem wasn't even the worst one. I remember during the 2000s, you wouldn't remember it because most of you weren't even born. It's a lot of the time during the early 2000s. I remember there was a bit of a kind of a backlash towards hip hop and rap music because they're saying it's too offensive, it's too aggressive, and you know the thing is, I think the difference is, in our generation, when we heard offensive stuff, we were more enticed to it because it was controversial. We more went towards controversy. We wanted to, that enticed us. Whereas I think this generation, they more don't want to be part of controversy. They want it to be gone. So I think that's just a different mindset. That's a generational thing, I guess. It literally is a generational thing. I'm now at that age where I can be pissed off at the generation below me. I mean, I'm not. I get it. You know, I get where you're coming from, but you can't just cancel stuff. How offensive do you have to be as an artist when a whole generation that during your peak, they weren't even alive, that a whole generation is now wanting to cancel you? I mean, you have to be a whole other level of offensive to be able to pull that off. If anything, that's quite impressive. I mean, the weird thing is, when you cancel things, it's look, I get it, you're trying to be activist, you're speaking out and everything, I get it. But when you see something or hear something, you say, no, I don't, no, nobody should see that, no. You know what it is? it's a little bit childish. So it's a bit of a childish thing to do. And also it's a bit fascist as well. So we don't really live in a fascist state. Obviously there's been loads of things of people, you know, responding to this, reacting to this. Here's a few of them now. It's just brilliant.
Let me make this quite clear. This man was around even before you were here. So what, you're all mad because the man was a
lyrics are terrible. Oh, and this coming from the marble mouth mumble rap generation? Have you heard his lyrics? Heard them? I was rage screaming them all through grade school. It looks...
Y'all getting mad over that?
I'm a human, what I gotta do to get it through to you. I'm superhuman, innovative, and I made a rebel, so they...
You want to cancel who? We were born yesterday. Eminem's been pissing people off for 22 years. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, so, you know what? Also, Generation Z, you know how I said that Eminem being offensive was nothing new to us who grew up listening to him? Him being controversial as well, and him being, you know, people wanting to attack him for his lyrics, guess what? That's nothing new either. So it's like, you're kind of late to the game, essentially. Now, I'm not saying this is all of Generation Z. No, only a few pockets of people want to do this. And this always happens. You always get some people who want to cancel things. Even in like my generation, well, millennials, let's face it, we didn't really do a lot of this shit. We didn't cancel stuff. We just, you know, we were like the leftovers of the binge culture, especially in England. So we just went out and got smashed all the time. So especially might have been just me and my mates, but that's what we did. So we didn't have, you know, there was more to things than wanting to cancel shit you didn't like. If you didn't like something, fine, just listen to something else. There was artists out there, not just hip hop and rap artists. There was other artists who said who were controversial. You know, if you if you listen to DMX's music, you would lose your shit. It would blow your brains up. I mean, I think even Prodigy, a drum and bass group, had a song called Smack My Bitch Up. Smack My Bitch Up. Are you going to cancel that as well? And, okay, look. You can't... Look, when you... I'm going to leave it on this. I'm going to leave it on this. I'm going to leave it here. When I'm not doing this, do stand-up. I know, it's not even funny. Fuck off. Okay, I do stand-up. And the thing is, though, I've been around and I've seen loads of different types of humour. And I've also met different generations. They had different types of humour. And the thing is though, you can't, when you say, let's cancel this, what you're basically saying is, you're trying to imagine it never happened. No, that's not the way to do it. That's not actually the healthy way. That's not really the mature way to go about things. You don't just cancel something because you don't like it. Look at it like it was a product of its time. And then you say, well, this is how, if you think that, then you say, this is how we do things better. That's how you got to look at things. But as always, this has been Tharun. I am Tharun. This is T.O.C. This has been a great day. Well, that's not been a great day. It's just a day, isn't it? It's just a day. So, I hope you guys have a great day. Never know how to end the video. Okay, like, subscribe, all that shit. I don't know. It's just, yeah, YouTube, isn't it? It's always great. Right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.